I never want to come across that way because I am struggling. I thought today we could just run some errands together, but I have pulled over because the weather outside is frightful. I don't know if it's gonna storm or not, but I just thought I'd pull over and we can just have a little chat. I asked on my Instagram for some girl chat topics and questions. I always like watching videos where it just feels like we're hanging out and kind of like on FaceTime or something. Hopefully that's what this feels like. I had a lot of questions about my relationship after having a baby. I would say our relationship has gotten stronger and it's gotten better. Obviously you're tired, you don't have as much time with each other anymore. You have to really be intentional. If you've read Gabe's book, you're probably like sick of hearing that word. Yeah, I would just say you really have to be intentional with the other person, because I think it's so easy for your brain and your 24/7 to just be baby, baby, baby. Just be intentional with still being sweet with each other, because you don't want to like lose that bond or that connection because you're so busy looking after a baby together. It's been really cool seeing Gabe become a dad. I knew he would be such an amazing and gentle dad. I respect him so much more and I love him so much more, which, you know, I didn't think was possible. I feel like it's even more mature now that we have this little baby of ours and like we're really working as a team. I don't know if you guys can see, but we are in the midst of fall, like actual literal fall. I hope you can see that on the camera. There are leaves falling all around us in this car park. We made it a habit to, once Micaiah is down and asleep and we're in bed, to just face each other and chat about our day and chat about our feelings, and like, I don't know, I think that really helps it. We know at the end of the night like we still get some time together. Does your feel different since giving birth? Yes. I think it depends how your birth is, because I had stitches since I had an episiotomy. Once it was all stitched up, I had a massive bruise. One time I looked with a mirror and I like didn't know what I was looking at. It was all bloody, sore. Just the healing process took quite a long time with how sore it was and stuff like that. Even now there is like certain parts that are sensitive to the touch still, which I wasn't expecting, but it doesn't hurt. It's just like, just doesn't feel the best. There was one part in particular with my stitches that my doctor pointed out would take a lot longer to heal than the rest, so that's probably what it is. But surprisingly, you feel pretty normal. Like once you get over the stretch of like healing and soreness and stuff, it's surprising how normal your body does feel. I got a bunch of questions on what books I'm reading. This question is, update us on your current reading list, which just makes me really happy. Whenever I bring up what I'm reading in vlogs and stuff, you guys respond to it really well and give me so many recommendations, so that just makes my heart like we're like in a book club. So I'm just on my Kindle app. Right now I'm reading Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, which is the second one in the series. I really enjoyed the first one, so reading through that. I have Gabe's A Mission for Meaning. I'm reading through that a second time. Just now that it's out, I don't know, I just wanted to read through it again. So definitely recommend that one. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. If you have read that, please let me know, because my best friend read it and she said it took her a while to like get into it, with like there's so many different characters that you kind of have to like pay attention to a lot. But the way she described this book to me was like it was like Cluedo, or the board game Clue in a book, which that's my favorite board game. So I thought I would love this book, but I think I'm only 10 pages in and I just haven't gotten into it. Basically just let me know if I should keep reading it, because just the first 10 or so pages in, I just didn't like get hooked on it. I also downloaded Prayer by Timothy Keller, The Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller, and Morning and Evening by Charles Spurgeon, and that was just, I've been wanting something to read like first breastfeed of the morning, like as like a little quiet time read. I think I'm ready to start reading a nice Christmas rom-com, so if you have one that you like, definitely recommend it to me down below. Ooh, what about like a Christmas mystery? That sounds up my alley. While I'm sitting here chatting with you guys, I'm going to finally open my new phone. How do I open it? Oh, there it is. This has been sitting on my desk for maybe a week or so. I just didn't want to get it out without doing a new case on it, and I ordered some from Casetify. Not just saying that because I work with them. I genuinely wanted to wait till I had a case to put on it. I'm very excited. Okay, so I got the iPhone 14 Pro. Okay, that probably wasn't as satisfying as it could have been. Apologies on my part. Ooh, wow. See, this is so nerve-wracking. Does anyone else like get a bit nervous? The moment we're all waiting for. Ooh, fresh. So let me get out these cases. Huge thank you to Casetify for working with me on another video. If you didn't see the last time I talked about Casetify, they have this new EcoShock technology, which means they've increased their drop protection. So now the phones are protected up to 11.5 feet. And their 5 times military standard basically just means that they've drop tested the phones 130 times. They're designed to be very sleek and slim, so they're not super bulky or anything. You can search through their exclusive prints that are made by their partnered artists. When I was picking these cases, I looked through the artists page. They work with over 300 artists from all over the world. You can customize a case with like your name or a phrase or something like that, or you can put a photo on one. I did one of their customizable photo cases. Oh, I love it. And I also got these MagSafe, so they are compatible with wireless charging. Okay, so the cases I got, this says, "Come as you are." I love that one. Some women. And then this one says, "Good things are coming, they always are." And these iPhone 14 cases are made up of 65% recycled and plant-based materials, as well as being partially made from some upcycled cases from the Recasetify program. Recasetify is where they can take any phone case and recycle it into a new one. So if you guys want to check out Casetify, I'll leave the link down below. It's always casetify.com/JessC, and it will apply 15% off your order. Advice for a first-time mama: I'm due in 3 weeks and am terrified. First, congratulations. It is going to be the happiest day of your life. I'm only 3 months in, so I feel like I'm not the most qualified, but since it is fresh, I definitely have some things off the top of my head. Definitely don't be terrified. I mean, I totally understand. I was anxious because I didn't know like what labor and delivery would feel like. People can't fully explain that to you, so that always used to make me nervous. My advice would just be, especially in those first couple weeks, specifically the first week for me, it can just feel really lonely. Have as many people around you, or maybe just like a text or call away, as many as you can, because it can just be hard and it can feel lonely, especially in that first week. I was really lucky that we were around my family, and then I had my sister-in-law gave birth a couple weeks before me. I have another friend who gave birth like right around the same time. I had a couple other moms to talk to as well, and that really helped. Hopefully this rain isn't too loud. Hopefully it's just the perfect amount of cozy for this video. What part of your postpartum body are you most insecure about? Struggling to accept my new body, I think is what she's saying. It's really interesting. I was just telling Gabe the other day that I'm more confident in my body now than I was even before having a baby or before getting pregnant. I'm not really sure why. I don't know. I'm just really proud of what my body has done. Giving birth to Micaiah was just the coolest thing to ever happen to me, so I don't know if that's why. I think for me, like, I knew my boobs and my belly would look different post-birth. It doesn't worry me too much at the moment, but in saying that, I really want to start working out soon and just tone up my body. I think that's probably what I'm insecure about, is that I just don't feel strong at the moment. But I think that's a healthy place to be in, because I'm not super insecure about what it looks like. I want to improve on how I feel. Your body has gone through the most incredible thing, and I know it's probably easier said than done, but it's hard. I totally understand it's hard. Green flags to look for in a boy. I like this question. I like green flags. I don't want to like ruffle any feathers because everyone's going to be different. I'm just picturing this being Gabriel. Social media wise, if I can tell he's not following or liking a bunch of girls' pictures that maybe I'm not comfortable with, that would be a green flag for me. Offering to say grace before dinner is a green flag for me. Having the same sense of humor and just feeling like you can just be silly with them. A good taste in music for me, that's really important. And just being able to like go on a drive and sing the same songs, like really enjoy the same songs. I think a big green flag would just be if they are showing you like reasons that you can trust them. Say if you're at school or you're at work or you're at college or something and you both are clearly talking, but then you can see him flirting with someone else, that's not a reason to trust them. Does that even make sense? I'm like 6.5 years or something out of the dating game, so I feel like I'm the worst person to ask. As a new mum, when do you find time for exercise, shower, reading, a cup of tea, etc.? And then how do you create balance between working and being a mum? A lot of questions about work, mum, life balance. And to be honest, I don't think I've figured it out. I knew I wanted today, during this time, to go run a couple errands and to film this video. Gabe knew that he couldn't schedule any work. He couldn't do it, like he had to be free to watch Micaiah. And I think that's just how we're getting by at the moment, is just making sure that our schedules align. The first feed of the day is when I try to do some sort of like quiet time reading, whether it's like a devotion or something like that. And then I will read a book before I go to sleep, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. minutes. That's like a little bit of me time. Showering at the very beginning was so difficult. I was like, how does anyone shower? But now I feel like I have certain rhythms. I know a typical morning or like routine with Micaiah, so I know that during her first nap is when I go and I shower. But in terms of work, it's been really difficult. It's been really hard for me to get pretty much anything else done that's not focused around the baby. There have been quite a lot of my projects that I've had to put on hold or delay. For example, I'll just soft launch right now. I have a song that's meant to be coming out. Really, it should already be out, but it's just been pushed and pushed and pushed. For example, for this song, I need to do a photo shoot for the cover and for like my Spotify page and everything that comes along with releasing music. Starting next week, actually, we just met a girl who is going to come help with Micaiah, so I should be able to work a couple hours every day. That's going to be the biggest help, just so I can easily do things like this or work on those projects that have been pushed. So I'm really excited for that. But in saying that, I feel like I have a bit of guilt. I don't really know why. It's just been sitting with me and I just feel guilty about it. I think because like not everyone is in the position to get someone to come and help, and I feel like I have the responsibility to, I don't know, I really don't know what this conversation is. We don't have any family here in Tennessee, which obviously we knew that when moving here that we wouldn't have families. Family oftentimes is like a huge help with a baby. Other mums that I know on social media, I'm like, how do you get all this stuff done? Like, how are you this productive? I never want to come across that way because I am struggling. I'm really excited and very grateful that we're going to be having some help with Micaiah a couple hours every day, and for Gabe as well. Gabe is obviously a huge help when he can. I'm grateful that we have met a really lovely girl. She's actually babysitting for us tonight. We're going on our first date, going to a concert, and it's gonna go great. Styling tips. This is a really sweet that you asked me, but I feel like I'd be one of the last people to ask because I'm just very simple with how I dress. In saying that, I find it's really helpful to try to stick to a color palette. So if you just know a couple colors that you really love to wear, certain colors that you're always drawn to, whether it be like white, blue, green, beige, something like that. That has really helped me to kind of, I usually buy things within a certain color palette, and then it helps me because most of my clothes all then go together, if that makes sense, instead of having a bunch of different clothes that don't exactly work together. But also just wear stuff that you feel comfortable in. I find that you'll always feel more confident if you dress in something that is comfortable for you. Food recommendations to increase milk supply. I always want to be careful with advice, but something that worked for me the other night, I drank coconut water with my dinner, and then the next morning I noticed straight away and I pumped and it was great. That's really the only thing I've tried and the only thing I could recommend. The one that I drank, I'll try and link it below. It was, I don't remember the brand, but the ingredients were basically just coconut water and pineapple puree. If YouTube wasn't a thing, what field would you see yourself working in? Definitely a couple different things. Well, one, I was in university for graphic design and I did some work experience in Sydney for a magazine, and that was like my dream. I loved that, and so I think that would have been really interesting, working in a magazine company and kind of working my way up in there somehow. Being in Los Angeles, and I just love like movie sets. I'm so intrigued with all of that. I think it would have been really cool to maybe be an assistant on sets, get some experience on movie sets and stuff, and do something in that realm behind the camera, like a production assistant or a producer or something like that. I think I would really enjoy something along those lines, like definitely something creative, something that I really would love to do, not really as a job but as a hobby. I'd really love to try to write a novel, something that I've talked about for a couple years. I think that would be really fun to try one day. Something you're looking forward to in the next few months. We have both of our families coming into town for Christmas. I think about it every single day. I think especially having Micaiah now, I'm so excited for family to come in and spend time with her. I just have so many plans for Christmas. My family's here basically the whole month of December. I just want to make it the best trip ever, so we're just so excited. So definitely the whole month of December and just Christmas time. It's just gonna be so much fun. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm very excited to set up this new phone. I had planned to run a couple more errands, but then we just sat in the rain, but that was really cozy. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I love you. I hope you're doing good, and I will see you very soon. Bye.